Mr. Mayor and Council, I will not be supporting this bylaw. The reason why I won't be supporting this bylaw is because of the pattern of continued increases that occur each year in terms of taxation in this township. Our staff provided to us this week some summary information. In looking at this summary information, it's interesting to note that expenditures for fire, police, recreation, general government, parks, stormwater, and transportation has increased 99% over the last 7 years. That's not sustainable. Increases in utilities over the last 5 years, from 2006 to 2010, are 63.7%. Increases in debt from 2005, which was 5.6 million, to this year, 2010, 31.1 million. That's a 648% increase in debt from 2005. And another interesting one, which I think the public should be aware of and probably isn't, the mayor's salary increased 45% from 2008 to 2009, and council's salaries increased 55% in 1 year. So I think that the answer to this is zero-based budgeting. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Each year, we should be having each program go back and justify its spending from the ground up. For example, do councillors here deserve a 55% increase in salary, or are they working 55% harder than they did the year before? What is needed, in my opinion, is political will around the budget and about getting control over debt, expenditures, and salary increases for that matter. And that's why I will not be supporting this budget.
Further discussion by members of council. I'm sure I'll start it off or follow Councillor Richter. Just for the record, in terms of salary increase, quite honestly, until 6 months into the campaign, into being elected, I didn't know what I was making. This was a formula that was established by the council of the day some number of years ago. I'm not sure how many years ago. However, read the 2010 tax increase of 4.95%. A good deal has been done and said with the record of tax increases and spending in the township of Langley over the past 7 years, both during and since the last municipal election. As everyone knows, I ran on a platform of 0, 0, and 0, clearly coupled with the establishment of a property endowment trust fund. First, I want to clarify and correct some statements that have been made about the whole issue of property endowment trust fund. During the election, my opponents repeatedly suggested this initiative was illegal, which is not the case. It has been suggested since by some that I wasn't dealing with reality, and further, that they are waiting for a business plan. Well, let's be clear. This wasn't a concept designed by me, but a concept created in 1972 by Art Phelps, the mayor of Vancouver, and founder of Phillips Hager North, one of the top financial investment firms in the country. The Property Endowment Trust Fund in Vancouver has transferred close to $300 million into general revenue to offset tax increases. In short, it is a vehicle to maximize the value of taxpayer assets, not liquidate them as some have tried to suggest. Through a program of asset management with full control of all actions held by the elected members of this council. As to a business plan, council has had a presentation of the program and concept in detail by an individual who managed the Vancouver Trust for over 20 years. We have held a work session dealing with this concept. Staff have analyzed this idea and submitted a report recommending this concept to council. And finally, numerous surrounding municipalities, small and large, have implemented a program similar to this, either a trust and or a municipal development corporation. You know, sometimes it's okay to look around for best practices as our community grows and matures. I don't think it's a stretch to assume my election by the residents of the township of Langley was the result of a clearly defined platform and position on a number of issues, not the least of which was that of my position on taxes and spending. As I have said before, the record of tax increases in the township is not sustainable at approximately 4 to 5 times the rate of inflation, or a compound tax increase of 37.66% over the past 7 years. In my effort to fulfill my responsibility to undertake due diligence, we created the Standing Committee of Finance, comprised of 3 members of our community and 3 members of council. The establishment of standing committees is the sole right and responsibility of the office of mayor under the community charter, and is commonplace in many other communities. Having said that, this move proved to be contentious with some members of council before, during, and for that matter, after the committee resigned. Their resignation, in their own words, was a result of feeling that their recommendations were not reasonably considered. Metro Vancouver, prior to first, second, and third reading, I distributed a detailed analysis of the impacts ahead of us at the Metro Vancouver regional level. These tax increases are substantial and are the result of provincial and federal legislation requiring improvement of infrastructure in water, liquid waste, and solid waste. Further, it has been suggested by senior levels of government not to expect cost sharing from them. Translate. In addition, we are very concerned about the impact of transportation taxation to fulfill the needs of the Lower Mainland. It is still unknown as to what the new rules will be as to the provincial and federal contribution towards any transportation infrastructure improvement. Having said all of that, after countless hours of meetings of the Mayor's Standing Committee of Finance, the results of all that due diligence provided me was the same conclusion, that there are significant opportunities to find new ways of doing things and new efficiencies that do not affect services, but reduce costs and increase revenue. We can offer all of the excuses for increasing taxes we wish, but at the end of the day, that is all they are, excuses. I will hold out the experience, knowledge, and expertise of all members of the Standing Committee against critics of their report at any time. I could go through their report in detail, but it is public knowledge, as are their findings and recommendations. I believe it speaks for itself. What is also clear is that there has to be a will to undertake change, which is currently not the case.